Now, viewers of South Today and pretty much all BBC programmes can choose to watch with subtitles. We're showing an example of how it looks right now. But subtitling is much less common at the cinema. A deaf woman from Berkshire says she and many others are missing out on the movie experience because venues don't cater properly for those with hearing loss. Linda Dean says films with subtitles are only shown on certain days at off-peak times and often weeks after the film's been released. Tom Hepworth reports.
Linda Dean is a film buff, but because she's deaf, sometimes the first time she can see a new release is when it comes out on DVD, months later. Not every film is shown with subtitles in the cinema, and you can wait for weeks if they are.
I'd like to be relaxed about my social life and go spontaneously where I want to go, when I feel comfortable, without having to think, oh, I have to go and watch it on that date, that time, and if I don't go, I'm going to miss it. And I must say, some of that time I've actually been to the cinema at Basingstoke or other locations, and I've been told there's a subtitle showing, and actually it's not subtitled. So I've travelled all that way for nothing, and that's even more disappointing. There are lots of barriers. There's no point me having a choice. There's no equality. So I do feel like I'm discriminated against.
Have a look at the cinema.
Linda's in Newbury with her friend Victoria to see what films they can watch together. There are just a handful with subtitles on this week, out of a total of 146 showings.
They don't have any awareness of the show for next week, and no information on the website is clear enough. So I think probably more training is needed for staff members.
No one from View Cinemas was available for an interview, but a spokeswoman did tell us that we follow the industry best practice approach to subtitled screening, with 2 performances every week, alongside mini mornings, which are subtitled on the second Sunday of every month. Could these glasses, shown here at Sony's headquarters in Basingstoke, be the answer? They project subtitles onto the lenses, meaning deaf people can watch any film without having subtitles appearing on the screen. Similar technology is already in use in the US and Australia.
Can you imagine the first cinema chain that operated this type of technology? How much, reputationally, how much benefit would that be in terms of their general business brand, but also within the deaf community? You'd have deaf people just going to that cinema chain. So I almost feel that they're not taking advantage of that great opportunity that's right in front of them.
Until things change, Linda and some of the other 11 million other people with some form of hearing loss can't enjoy a Saturday night at the movies. They have to recreate the experience at home. Tom Hepworth, BBC South Today.
Well, earlier I spoke to Roger Wicks from Action on Hearing Loss and asked if cinemas are obliged to offer subtitles.
Yes, under the Equality Act, all providers of services are meant to make reasonable adjustments to people with disabilities. For cinemas, this means hearing loops and it means subtitles.
So is this an issue where you regularly hear complaints?
Yeah, it's a big issue. I mean, 1 in 6 people have hearing loss, and many of them regularly use subtitles on television and on cinema. It's a regular source of complaint. Films put on with subtitles at difficult times of day and not being advertised at all. There's huge demand for subtitles in cinemas.
In Tom's report there, we saw somebody wearing glasses that project the subtitles, but only the wearer is seeing those. Is technology the answer, do you think?
It's definitely part of the long-term solution, yes. There's lots going on at the moment. The UK Cinema Association is working hard with us on different technical solutions, and glasses, so-called invisible technology, where the subtitles are only visible to the person wearing glasses, are a really exciting innovation.
In the meantime, what is the answer? Just simply to complain to your local cinema manager?
Yes, that's part of it. Definitely talk to your cinema. Make it plain that you want subtitles available when you watch films. That's really helpful. Complain certainly. On our website, actiononhearingloss.org.uk, there's lots of information for taking that forward.
Dr. Roger Wicks, thanks very much indeed for joining us.